Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to another episode of Coaching the Many. Today, we're going to be talking all about the Ice Queen herself, Satan, Maiden, whatever you want to call her, Mei. Hero that has been steadily rising in effectiveness, over the years. She's actually just been, buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. There was a period of time when she did basically shoot Hanzo arrows, but that sort of got... They got reverted, but she's sort of steadily been buffed back towards that level. And I think she is somewhat underrated, actually, by a lot of people. There are problems with the character in terms of, why would you pick her over something like Hanzo, or in some cases, why would you pick her over certain heroes like Brigitte? But she actually does fulfill a kind of a nice niche. I'm generally more keen on her on defense rather than on offense, but she can do a lot, and especially in the team comps that we're seeing these days with the Hog Risa, the ability to wall people off and control space is really important and really useful in the modern game. You're less likely to see heroes like Genji or Pharah, stuff like that will just sort of outrange you or just keep distance from you and cause a lot of problems that way. So let's get started. Also, there isn't any SR given, I believe, in any of this, which is always nice. Hey, thank you so much, High Life. That's very much appreciated. Good use of that Twitch Prime. Ding. Turn the volume up. Yeah, good, there's volume. Yeah, there is no SR given, so I want you guys to figure out what SR this person is at. You people in not Twitch comments, YouTube comments. There are Twitch comments, but they're very weird. In the YouTube comments, try and figure it out as we go as well, and then at the end we will sort of figure out what are the tells for this SR, what are the tells for what level this guy's playing at, and what he can do to move to the next level as well, which I think is sort of a fun way of doing it. As the gates open, we will do the usual thing. Always ask yourself the simple question, how does my team win fights? Your team is tanky as balls. My god. Look at this. This is a chonky team. Yeah, there's... Your team wins, but... Okay, oof. Ooh, you're running into something nasty, though. Yeah, your team just kind of runs over the enemy team. Blizzard is a great win condition, actually, just in terms of many fights. I'm going to actually go to red, the magenta. Yeah, Blizzard is one of the best ultimates in the game, especially with immobile, stodgy teams, especially with stuff like Hog Risa in the game. Risa can kind of just walk out of it sometimes if she has Fortify, but Hogs definitely get caught in it all the time. Lots of heroes like Ana gets caught in it all the time, Zenyatta gets caught in it all the time. So there's actually a lot of good options for Blizzards. Otherwise, yep, pulled pork, hook 'em and cook 'em, whatever you want to call it, ball and chain. That'll work wonders. But we're running into an enemy team that is going to cause a lot of problems for us, I think. They don't have any, great safeties, but the safeties they have are actually pretty good. So I'm going to wait till 3:45. So this is the point normally in game. That's a weird UI bug. It's because we're using custom colors, I think this is happening. Because we have red as teal, both teams represented as blue. That's just going to be very confusing. There's no communication. That's par for the course, honestly. I would be 100%... honestly, I go into games expecting there to be zero communication. That's my baseline. Very rarely will I say that you need to depend on it. And it's true for both teams generally, although communicating is only a benefit in most cases. Sometimes not. In America, Americans communicate weirdly. They communicate badly. But anyway, Europeans communicate rudely, which is sometimes even worse. Okay, we can see what the enemy team comp is at this point in the game, 3:45. Always worth taking a quick gander because this is a scary team comp for our team comp. Hopefully, we'll see some changes. The big scary thing that we need to deal with is this big boy here. Honestly, if the Winston just changed to a Diva, you guys will probably still be grand, but a McCree, I think, would actually go a long way here. Just get rid of Shotokan here, good lord, on the Winston. Swap him off the Winstonio, put him on a McCree. Bish, your team is going to look great. As the Mei, you can actually control the Reaper quite well. It's hard to kill him, but you can control him. Basically, if you stay behind the Orisa barrier, if you make a little bit of distance, freeze him up, he'll have to Wraith form, he'll have to run. The Reaper, if he does go back in, he can win that fight if he gets a couple of good headshots, but if you just ice block and then the rest of the team supports you, you should be fine. So it's not worth his time to fight you. So we can help control the Reaper quite a lot there. Otherwise, barrier damage, we're so-so at barrier damage, but once we get in, we can control a lot of these heroes and do a pretty good job. The Genji is going to be absolutely useless on their team. The Genji is completely dead weight on their team and dies instantly. Honestly, I would be very surprised to see this Genji do a lot. I see what we were going for there, but yeah, that's something you need communication for. Honestly, I would say that if you aren't communicating directly with your team, just do like really obvious stuff. Just like put the barrier up here. I could like this is not a bad idea with the team comp you guys have. You're very close range, so are they. In fairness, but to go like around the long flank and then come in from the back is not a terrible idea. But that just needs a lot of communication to get done. Like, people don't... This annoys me about Blizzard World. People don't come out of this side passage anymore. Like, teams are now defending from here and here. No one goes around this flank anymore. It's completely safe now. Like, if no one is defending high ground, if no one is sniping from high ground, you could just walk out here and not take a single jot of damage. Not get sniped by Widows, not get picked off by Zenyatas, not anything. Why don't people do that anymore? I don't... It just baffles my mind. Interesting decision. Okay. Let's talk about the hero we're playing. Let's talk about Mei as a hero. This is like a very important concept, which is, what does my hero do that other heroes can't do? Where is the additional value in my hero? Let's pretend that we're Blizzard and we're making a new hero, and it's designed to be the most boring hero possibly made. We call him Mr. Generic, okay? We've got Mr. Generic. Good old Mr. Generic. I'm going to spend my time writing out. Mr. Generic, well, he's like a white dude, and he's got a gun. He's a bit like Soldier 76, but he's just got like an assault rifle. And he just moves at normal speed and shoots bullets and kills people. Okay? And every other hero is kind of just an offshoot of Mr. Generic, right? Every other hero, tangentially, is going to be related to Mr. Generic because, well, Soldier 76, he has, like, sprint, he has heals, he has rockets, right? He's got all this other stuff on top of Mr. Generic. And so if you think about it in terms of, well, okay, well, that's Mr. Generic, Soldier 76 is different. Well, how's Mei different from Mr. Generic? Well, Mei has projectiles, I'm just going to say pro, she has, like, ice block, she has walls... She has extra health as well, which is worth mentioning. Okay, she has like all these extra things. So when you are doing things like this motion here, where we're going on this flank, what gives us extra value? What gives us extra strength here that Mr. Generic wouldn't have? Well, we have all our cooldowns available. That's great. You want to know, like, the thing that I hammer on tirelessly over and over and over again about games with Ana involved is that you have to play with your team with Ana in line of sight. Look, that team's doing it. Ana has perfect line of sight. We can just cut that off. We can actually cut off both their supports here. You just come in here, you plonk a wall here. These guys all have no support. The guys behind me. There is people back here. Like, all their front line just loses a support line. You could just cut Ana off if you want. You could just cut both off if you want. Honestly, either work. Instead, we just opt for a few shots, and this is the problem with going for a few shots with Mei, is like, yeah, we land one, we land two, I think, actually. Not bad. But the reliable thing to do here is just to get the wall up, and then after that, then you can do the unreliable things of trying to do the damage with Mei, which is always going to be a bit clunky just because of how Mei operates, right? She has the slow firing, she has the projectiles, it's not a reliable way to deal damage. So, yeah, just put the wall up, hold right mouse button, then start doing the damage. Because by the time that we get the wall up, well, their team's already sort of turned to deal with us, and our team's dropped off on pressure, like the Winston's had to run out because he's been shot by the Reaper, all the damage has been healed up of our initial assault, and as a result, everyone just turns around and kills us. And I think, like, you know, we have Ice Block and stuff like that, Ice Block would certainly have helped, would have kept us alive longer, but I think, like, even in that position, we're still in kind of a tricky place. I expect to see their Reaper have ult in about 2 seconds flat. Looks like they've used the Baptiste ult. That's a lot of damage from their team. Your team slowly dies. Yep. This honestly isn't too bad for your team. What the fuck is he doing? I mentioned that the Genji isn't going to do anything in this team, and I think he's feeling that because, my god, like, they've won the fight. Okay, Lesson to everybody, okay? Your team's won the fight. You've pushed them off the point. They're regrouping. And even as they're regrouping, your Reaper throws out an ult and kills another person and forces them to try and regroup even harder. You don't Dragon Blade. What the Why? Good job, Genji. You got him. You got him, son. Well, your team's coming into the next fight with a lot of ults. Hey! Jotacon swapped. The Winston swapped. I would have preferred a McCree to the Reaper, but I think Reaper is fine. Sort of set a thief to catch a thief mentality, I guess. I like the pressure on the Batiste here. You know what I like about you? You're not just doing random walls for the sake of doing walls. Like, your team now probably actually does better barrier damage than theirs. Maybe, like, the Batiste definitely doesn't make up for it, for the Genji. Your team does a lot of barrier damage. Like, I know the Reaper's off hunting stuff, but you guys can sort of grind down the barrier wall pretty effectively. And you're not just throwing up random walls to, like, stop the barrier wall. This is actually very nice to see, that you're just focused on doing damage. I'd like to see us, when we do take some damage like this, just tuck back in. Like, you can take a moment, tuck back in, and hang around with the Moira. We're fine being out here, by the way, because there's still like a good considerable distance between us and them. They don't have anything to really pick us off because we have enough hit points. We still have all our safeties on, so we can take this wider angle. Playing behind the point here, or playing behind the shield wouldn't be awful, but it's not too bad that we're like poking around the side here. Yeah, I want to see us on full health before we go for this fight. I'm gonna Blizzard. Nice, we got Blizzard. Okay. Well, everyone presses Q. Oh no. Okay. That went. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if they had Death Blossom here, or Dragon Blade, or anything to do here. The only thing I'd say here is, like, I don't quite understand this motion of coming back, like running back this way. You are really not threatened by the Reaper or the Genji here. You have your cooldowns, you have wall, you have all your team in front of you. Safety is not this way. This is unsafe. Like, you got Moira and Lucio back behind me, right? Those guys will keep you alive through just about anything. They'll definitely give you enough time to put this healing on. The Lucio can boop away the Reaper if he tries to go aggressive. He's not going to just run into the team. Hopefully, if he does, you just ice block him, let the other team sort of turn and react to him a little bit, and then start freezing him up. He has to back out. He can't just engage into you. The Genji can, but we're not scared of Genji. Genji is not going to kill us here. So I don't quite understand, like, this going back here quite so much. I think you're safer just sticking with the front line. It's trying to protect the back line. The back line's over here, mate. I know that's a smart ass thing to say, but yeah, just... It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with using the Blizzard here, honestly. Like, they blew all their ults. I think the only the only slight issue I have with the Blizzard is using Blizzard with Whole Hog up, but honestly, it clears the point regardless, and Whole Hog just knocked everyone into it. It's actually really nicely placed because it catches everyone on the back wall. So Whole Hog just pushes everybody into it. Can't really complain about getting 5 people with it. Like, our target priority of take out everyone we can kill, even get a juicy little flick on the final target. Nice, I like it. Now this gets trickier, because you guys just blew everything to take that point. What do you do next? Nice. Okay, now we back out. I want to see us backing out. Nice. Good. Perfect. Just a good example, like, contrast this with the Zarya we did yesterday, for example, alright? Which is this idea of the ebb and flow, the idea of being able to move forward, you can do things, and, like, the way I always think of it is that as long as you have your cooldowns, as long as you have your safeties, then you can do things, and you can try and accomplish things, you can be a bit proactive. Once those safeties are gone, you've got to start playing conservatively. especially with stuff like Roadhog. Okay, you know, we can't block another one for 12 seconds, so we have to just play back. We have to play with our team. We have to play with the Orisa barrier. I love it. Brilliant wall. Perfect. We lost track of the Genji there for a second, which I'm not the happiest about. See what I mean with the Genji? Like, this Genji needs to swap so badly. The only thing I'd say is, like, you see the Genji do that, you follow him. The reason why is just because he's, like... The Orisa barrier will protect your team for a little while longer, and you can't really do anything to stuff behind a barrier as Mei. You know, you can't freeze through the barrier. You're not going to run into these two and be safe, so you might as well just turn and deal with the Genji. He's basically free for you. He draws a Dragon Blade. He's hitting a Roadhog. Moira just, like, fades away, I'm sure, and then they just turn and kill him. He's just nothing. I like this, actually. This is fine. You just want to slow the fight down because your reinforcements are going to come much faster than theirs. You guys are well, it's basically 5 versus 4 at this point, I do believe. You can just slow the fight down a little bit, take your time. So putting the wall up is superb. Reaper goes for a bit of a feed. Nice. Perfect. You see how safe we are? Like, so often. Perfect. That wall is going to die very quickly. Okay. Might still be enough. It's a little bit hard to tell because the colors are the same on both sides. This is how colorblind people must feel. I get it now. Okay, let's talk about this fight. Let's talk about everything that happens in this fight. So, we have advantage. So right now, we want to press that advantage. Reaper goes feeding. Yeah, but he's still kind of to our favor. We don't have the cooldown on the Mei wall for that hook, so that's fine. We managed to get them here. And then this is where it gets a little bit scary. Right? Your Reaper... No, your Roadhog, is it? Did your Reaper die again somehow? Or is that just still updating? No, wait, I'm confused. Yeah, that's just the old one. So yeah, the Reaper kills the Roadhog, and then like, oh, they got Immortality Field. You can't deal with this. But Reaper just blows his ult. They all blow their ults. This is where it gets complicated because the Moira has just ulted, which means you guys are committing to this fight slightly. But I like this wall. I just think at this point, you know, you just try and back out. And I think at this point, you don't go for the Blizzard. And I think the reason why I'm going to justify this decision and, like, the signals to me that justify this decision is that this fight has been going, like, nothing but bad and bad and bad and bad. They've committed a lot to it, but you can take the time here. You can absolutely take the time here. Thank you, Sivak.
Sub-daddy.
Yeah, we don't have the DPS to fight that. I shouldn't have used my ult here. And it's more about, like, you know, we can just look at this specific instance, but it's like, what is the suggestion? What is the hint that you don't want to ult here? What is the knowledge you can take into the next fight? Because there's no point just saying, yeah, that's a bad ult. It's easier to say that in hindsight. What's the signals that it's going to be a bad ult, though? And I think the signals are that you guys can just take the time at this point. Like, they've used all their ults, so they basically use their ults to set you guys to neutral, you know? You've had to use Coalescence to survive. You've had to use a bunch of cooldowns. You know, you get pulled in here, they're still using resources. I think at this point you just back up and try and get back to your Orisa Hog, and then when you rejoin the fight, like, they've gained kind of nothing, they've just sort of rebuffed you, but you're just going to come back very, very strong very soon, and you can probably, you know, engage with, oh, you have Soundberry, you have Blizzard to play with, you have all these tools that they just don't have anymore. Like the committing Bongo. That's a nice kill at the very least. And it's not like a terrible ult, in my opinion. This could have worked. Like, you get pretty much everybody. It's just people are still coming back from spawn, and this team doesn't engage particularly fast. And it didn't get the Reaper, so Reaper's just killing everybody. It's not the worst in the world. As someone who's played main tank for 2 seasons, I hate Mei. Yeah, Mei is very good at controlling and like taming tanks, splitting tanks. I think the thing to always keep in mind with Mei is that you can kind of slow down the game. You can kind of stall the game out, make it your speed. Looks like your team won the fight anyway, so the Blizzard pays off. It's just a little bit riskier. Interesting, but sort of minor detail, especially at this point. I don't like this Mei wall. This is greedy, I think. Because now you're entering the fight without your most important cooldown. Like, this is your defining ability. Is your ability to wall stuff. And I think, like, if you had the wall here, that's fine. Just go left, go up, take the high ground that route. Or just come out on the low ground on this side. You can just run out down here. Try and split. Or just split the Ana off. Like, it's effectively killing the Ana for a few seconds if you just put a wall up. I think the decision to jump into them is an interesting one. But I'm kind of fine with it. Because, again, we have our cooldowns, our team's engaged. Our team works very well by just running into theirs. Moira Lucio is very good at just running into stuff. Mei Reaper is going to be very difficult to deal with. And we get a free freeze on it. Moira steals the kill, as she is wont to do. We even end up body blocking the hook. Perfect. That could not have gone better if you tried. Oh no, he just missed. The Reaper was actually in front of us. Naughty Roadhog. How? Blizzard. Blizzard, fix your game. Fix your game, Blizzard. It literally curves round him. It literally curves round the Reaper. Look at it. Oh my god, I can't believe that. I think you win no matter what, but that's funny to me. That shouldn't happen. Okay. Honestly, like even if he kills everyone in that situation, you just put a wall up and just cap the point, and it's just like, yeah, nice ult, bro. Oh, very nice. I like the isolating targets. I'd say in our team, like if anyone is going to flank, I'm glad it's us. I think we should, like, the Reaper should just stick with the core of the team here and just grind down their barriers and kill their tanks. Nice. Perfect. Like, this looks like Mei play to me, which is, oh, my teammate might be in danger. Please turn on allied health bars. I don't know if this is just a part of the replay, but if you can't see the allies' health bars in game, please turn them on. Very much worth doing. This Roadhog is in a spot of danger. Their team badly needs a Zenyatta rather than a Baptiste. The reason why is they'd be able to kill this Roadhog if they had a Zen. But fine. Yeah, I like that wall. Okay. Remember I said that the Genji is going to do absolutely nothing? Whoa! Ooh, okay, I can't tell the colors. That freaked me out for a second. I thought you just killed your own Roadhog there. No, that's their Roadhog. Okay, fine. Good. See how fast the wall died? Just pointing that out. Okay, respect it. Nice! I love the respect. I don't like this. Just respect that Baptiste ult. It's scarier than you think. Good. This looks like Mei play. Nice. I like it. Like, the only notes I'd say for, like, this moment is, yeah, just stay respecting that. Honestly, I would be tempted to just, like, put my wall up in front of it just to make sure nobody else can do anything with it as well. That would just be my temptation, but we get away with not doing it. It's just, like, our team actually respects it as well, which is a really good sign. Like, they all back off. They all go around the corner. They don't just stand in front of it like some people seem to. This Blizzard, I think, is a touch greedy. Like, but yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, it's going to get the Baptiste guaranteed at the very least. So it will kill him. So using that ult to kill one person feels a touch greedy, but fine. The reason why is very simple. Baptiste has no horizontal movement. It's good. If you're feeling really dirty, by the way, this is one of my favorite tricks with Mei that I see people sometimes do, which is, so you have like, if we sketch this situation out from above, right? You got like the Mei wall here, you got like the Orisa here, and she's going this way, and then we're stood here. What you can do is you just, if you think she's going to slip away and the rest of your team's closing in and in position, you just use your ice block and become like an extra bit of wall. Doesn't wall break Bongo? Does it? I think it just lifts it, doesn't it? I think they fixed that ages ago. No, the Bongo's fine. Oh, the Bongo's... No, it looks like it's actually going... No, it is broken on the team, but honestly, your team would just kill this anyway. The wall is fine. The wall is grand. Your team is achieving their conditions. You're just, like, engaging into the enemy team. The enemy team need to space you out way better. But you guys are just running into them. And the enemy team can't really stop you from doing that because they have a Genji. Who are you going to assassinate there, Genji? We're doing something that's very annoying as a support player. I know we're afraid of going forward, and I know we're probably like tilting at this Moira. This is why the Moira isn't like thinking about you, okay? The Moira is looking at absolutely everybody else. The Moira is concerned about these people in front of us. She wants to try and get some right click in. She wants to find a good orb angle. And you're stood behind her, mashing the X button, and it's very easy to miss that. Just walk in front of her. If you really need the healing, just... I know it feels a little bit unsafe, but we still have Ice Block. They're pushed back. Like, or just dip in front of her for a second, say, I need healing, and then back away with the X button. Standing behind supports and going, I need healing, I need healing. It's very difficult for the support to keep that in mind and to like have that awareness for dealing with things behind them when there's threats in front of them that they're thinking about and worried about. And so yeah, don't be afraid to just dip in front of them. Because that's, like, it's a very common thing as a support to have DPS just going like, oh my god, Anna, I'm stood behind you and you're not healing. Oh my god, Moira, you're right-clicking. I need healing. I've been on 70 hit points for the last 20 years. Ah! And it's like, dealing with that, the best way to deal with that is just put yourself in places where you can be healed. That makes sense. Okay, they got the little thing up. Look at how not threatening he is. Just like, guys, if you're a Genji player and you see like a big meaty team comp like this one, just look at how not scary you are. Look at how utterly just non-threatening you are. Look at how unafraid this team is of you. They can just soak every single swing. They can just turn and look at you and it's just, yeah, what are you going to do? Nice toothpick. Nice knife. He's scary. The guy with the shotguns, he's scary. The Reaper? No, he's not. Okay, this, just, you know, just take it easy, back out. A little bit, and if blocks on cool, like, yeah, blocks on cooldown here. We want to be a little bit respectful. We can get pulled back in by the Orisa. We can get hooked. Don't want to be out here quite so much. Now we can be a little bit more disrespectful, but you know, be ready with that shift button to block the hook. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of, because now you're kind of stuck. Now you're gonna have to use all your cooldowns. We might still win this. Nice. Very nice. Good control. Okay. Do you want to know why we lost that fight? Because we were just in a really bad position. We had to, like, rush everything. And it all comes, like, all of this fight spirals out from this one point. Where we're putting right clicks into a barrier that we're not contesting. Like, no one else is fighting that barrier at the moment. We're not ready to do a push. You're just shooting an Orisa barrier that's going to get replaced. You want a bit of ult charge, sure, but you'll get it during the fight. When you're on about 90%, you've basically got it. You just need to do a little bit of damage in the fight, and you'll have it. And so we end up not managing to block this hook. We get pulled in, and now we're sort of shit out of luck. And what I thought was going to happen was, oh, you'll put a Mei wall up here, and then just reset back to default, but you're going to have no cooldowns. That's kind of awkward. The problem with the Blizzard here is we haven't really thought about the enemy team here. She can fortify and just walk out of it, so she's fine. He can Wraith form and walk out of it. He's fine. He has dash potentially. He can jump out of it, climb out of it. He's fine. This guy might get caught by it, but he's going to be difficult to kill. Ana's miles away. We rush it. A little bit more comms asked if we were okay to push. I was going to wall. Otherwise, I think we just wall regardless. This Blizzard just feels really rushed. The reason why is this is space that they can give up. So we're contesting ground that's already contested, sort of just by our presence here alone. I appreciate that we're shooting the bongo and that Moira shoots the bongo, but it gives them space to pull back and then start using their own tools, like this ult here. I love this wall because the Baptiste ult is behind us, so we split the team from the wall, so the wall's not doing extra. The Baptiste damage amp isn't doing extra damage into our wall. That's perfect. But yeah. Nano Reaper is going to destroy this team. There's really not much you can do about that. Like, think about it this way, just to really like hammer this point home. If you didn't Blizzard here, like, where is Blizzard more effective? And this is super, this is going to be obvious, but where is Blizzard more effective? Like, here or, in the room over there? It's in the room over there because they can't back out. Why do people prefer sending the VODs? Because you don't, you have to send VODs in of games that you're actively playing. You have to record every single game, and then maybe you'll get a good one. It's much easier to play games and then go, oh, that was a good game. I'll record it and send it in. It's much, much easier to use replays. If you're feeling fancy, you can set Shadowplay to record like the last 20 minutes of gameplay automatically and then just save that. Even then you might miss bits and pieces. Nice attempt. This is really good for you guys. I think we were considering it for a second there, and I'm disappointed we didn't do it. Right. So we spot that, well, their team's win condition, like this Reaper has just been winning the game for them, right? Over and over and over again. We almost isolate him. And even then, it's still a dangerous fight. You're not going to kill him, it's fine though, you force Wraith form. And the wall comes off cooldown just in time. I would love it, absolutely love it if we use that wall here. But I think, like, just because it just comes off cooldown, it's sort of like, oh, it's on cooldown, oh, I can't use it. So that's fair enough. You can change Shadowplay time? I think I can actually show you. If you go into here, connect recordings. Is it in recordings? Nope. That's my files. Keyboard shortout, broadcast, highlights, video capture. Instant replay length. Set it to 20 minutes. There you go. But it'll, if your game lasts longer than 20 minutes, then you're out of luck. Still much easier to use replays. I think that Genji has got his first kill of the game. Congratulations, Genji. And I imagine we just lose here. And all of this situation, all of this fight was always going to be difficult, always going to be really rough. All of this fight spans from that one Roadhog hook that we got hooked by for no reason earlier on. All of this situation is spiraled out of that point. Because now we're desperate to try and touch the point. Now your team's like rushing to try and get there. Like you've had to use, the team's used sound barrier, but it barely hit anybody apparently. Adam Douglas got nobody. And now you've used your ults, they're using their ults, and it's all spiraled out of that one position. Like in general, when I see people taking team fights from disadvantaged positions, I notice just a lot of people are like, oh, well, that was just a really bad team fight. Oh, well, we're contesting the payload. You've got to think about the root cause and like where that team fight came from. What was the seed that caused that team fight to happen? And it's a good example of like how one pick or one mispositioning can really spiral out of control, especially in the last minute, especially in the last 2 minutes. It's very, very easy to end up in trouble. Okay. Interesting team comp. I can see it working. I kind of like it. So the nice thing about having a Mercy with all of these beefy people, not you Shotakon, you're not beefy at all. But all of these beefy people is that res just gets so much extra value, and it's actually without. Hey, you don't have a diva, but I think the Mei can help cover reses pretty well. Do not be afraid. Okay, this is something that I think I want to like shout at Miska as well, because Miska has a bad habit of doing this. Do not be afraid to stand in front of the Orisa. Like, once she puts a barrier out like this, don't be afraid to stand in front of her, and in my opinion, the Orisa should step back a little bit from her barrier. The reason why is, let's draw it from the side. If this is the Orisa's barrier, and I know I've drawn these backwards in colors, and this is the Orisa, right? And she stood in the barrier, and then everyone else is stood behind her. Oh look, it's Mr. Generic again. You can't see shit because the Orisa's in the way. All you can see is Orisa's big bum. All you see is dad ass, right? That's all you get to see. At all, at any given moment. It fills your screen up. Step back, Orisa. You don't need to be that close. You're just spamming into choke points anyway. Let the DPS stand by the barrier. Let the DPS step in front. They can see, and they can see what they're shooting at, which is nice. For us, we're a little bit spammy, so it matters less. But for the McCree especially, like, yeah, he should be there in front. The Roadhog should actually get a view every single time he has hooks. Step forward. Okay, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. And it's, to me, there should be like a hierarchy system of like who needs to see at this precise moment. Well, they get to stand in the front. Roadhog with hook, very high priority. After he doesn't have hook, step back. Stop taking up all the viewpoint. Yeah, Genji just has to back away. This is an interesting position. I'm not entirely sure I like it. That's kind of why. Okay, let's talk about the start of this fight. I'm telling my team they're all left. That's good. That's 100% correct. The issue I have is what we're doing here. Roadhog hooks something. I'm not entirely sure what the split is we're going for here. Like, we can split this, but by then, like, well, they're kind of already in. We can split the other... We can just split this instead. We can just stand with the team, split this. They try and push in here, they can't. Like, that's confusing me quite a lot. Like, this will be a perfect place for a wall here. Most of their team can't deal with it. Hog, Mei combos extreme well. Hog, Mei, McCree. Someone gets hooked, they just die, hopefully. Looks like we... Is that their Ana? Yeah, that's their Ana. It's very hard to tell. Chili, that's our boy. This wall's a bit of a panic. Bit of a shame. Actually, is that one of their team or is that one of our team? Oh, it's so hard to tell. Is that their team? These colors. These colors! Okay, yes, their team. Okay, that makes more sense. That's less confusing. Oh, okay, I see. Like, the colors are fucking with my brain so much, because I'm so used to seeing barriers fuck up on color as well. Okay, so the Orisa comes from back there, but I think it's just the Orisa back there? Even then, I think I still prefer us just staying with our team. The Orisa be damned. You almost want her to engage into you like that. It feels like, it's not even like half the enemy team. It feels like 2 of the enemy team went on a flank. Because the Rodor comes from the left. So you have like the Orisa here, and I imagine the Baptiste? Yeah, the Baptiste is over there as well. The Reaper's already sort of running the front. The Rodog's actually coming from left of us. Like, he's over here. That's their hog. Some unfortunate misses between you and the McCree. But I think like their win condition is pretty much the same as yours from last game, which is we want to just run into your team, and they successfully ran into your team. That's where they were coming from the side, not the back. I think we're just trying to be too clever there. Like, when in doubt, stick with the team, stick with your Roadhog. Work with them. Okay. Some good use of cover. Nice. Yeah, that... Another example of Reaper trying to be too clever. Like, honestly, the McCree, I don't think should have even been following you here. He should have just, like, gone back to his team, but they're all so far away as well, so yeah. How do we know this was happening? Someone call this? Do you? Oh, you see the Reaper there. Nice. Good spot. We feel safe contesting this because we have Ice Block. Worst case, you just Ice Block off the side. And then once he uses that... like, why he goes in here, I don't know. It's good of the Lucio. The Lucio does a very good job here of coming over to help you. Because with the Lucio's help, yeah, that's guaranteed to work. Okay, you guys have advantage. Okay, we go and contest the Genji. You know better. Oh god, McCree ulted as well. Ew, ew, why? Like, I thought this Blizzard was excessive. Like, it's 3-on-6, guys. Oh, 3-on-4, even then you win. Like, they're in such a bad position here. They don't have their Reaper. They don't have anything. They can't use the Baptiste ult. Wait 2 seconds. Put a wall there. People walk forward. You kill everyone. You win. I don't think you need the Blizzard here. You guys have such a huge advantage. Being honest, with their team comp, the moment the Reaper dies, you guys pretty much win. McCree. Oh, I got a Deadeye to be able to get kills in a Blizzard. Jesus, McCree. What you doing, son? What you doing, Adam Douglas? Look at how not scary that Genji is. He's got Nano Blade. He might be able to kill the McCree, maybe. Ooh. Can't help it, Tynoon. It is. I guess he checked his watch and oh, it's noon. Oh no, that Reaper. What is he doing? Like, the team's only just respawned. He gets hooked. Is he going on a flank again? Why is he flanking? Why are you trying to flank this team? Look what happens to you when you flank. Honestly, I think you're greedy as shit here. Just to say, if you are the only person, like if Reaper is death blossoming, right? This is Reaper. He's angry. It's not a very good face, but it'll do. Tell you what, we'll do it properly. This is Reaper. He's got a very wide face and he's very angry. Rah! And he goes, die, 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 and he does damage in this big circle, and you are the only person in the circle. Just remove yourself from the circle or stop taking damage, because one of the ways that Death Blossom is a good ultimate is because it heals him for a shitload as he does it. Because he's doing all that damage, he's healing while he's doing it, and he becomes surprisingly tanky. Especially when he's hitting even like one person, it's kind of okay. When he starts hitting 2 or more, like, it's usually where people start getting their estimations wrong. They're like, oh, I can kill him, I can kill him. They trip over themselves to try and blow him up. But he just heals and heals and heals and heals. And he's actually surprisingly tanky. The amount of times I've seen people get burned by this is insane. So I think just ice blocking and like knowing that your team is here, just all shooting at him, well, then he's only 250 hit points. Then he's not healing. I always forget the life steal. Many people do. And I've seen so many teams like go, why didn't anyone just shoot him? It's like, everyone did, but Genji, why? Why are you here? Okay. A little bit slow on some of the reactions here. Yes. Like, the pull fucks us up. I would have liked us just to go for the wall straight away here rather than the freeze. There is a health pack there as well that we can get. But we end up, like, you know, it takes a little bit longer. It takes about a second longer than I would like. But I'd like us just a wall, ice block. Because if they're pushing in here, and, like, they've already lost both their DPS, so I don't know what the hell they think they're doing. They've, like, committed super hard to kill a Mei. You punish that. You live to punish that as Mei, right? They're going like, oh, throw everything at the Mei, and you have all your cooldowns. It's just, yeah, please. Like, I give a shit. Ah, we're shooting lamps as well. I'm shooting lamps and bongos. Ah! Ah, I love it so much. I love it so much. It's so good. It's so nice. Look how... Oh, look! Oh! There's a lesson here. 250 hit points. 250 hit pointer-oo. And we get blown up. You might have heard me use the word horny a lot yesterday. This is a good example of getting horny. It's like, oh, yes. Oh, yes, we can get all the kills. Ah, the kills are mine. Ah, look at them all. They're so low. Oh, yes. This, yeah. You could have split this with a wall. You could have done a number of things, but you just run out with your left mouse button, and Roadhog does that. Genji might kill McCree here. Oh, we got Mercy. Oh, because Mercy used Valkyrie. When did Mercy use Valkyrie? Why did Mercy use Valkyrie? Okay, she used it in here. Same support alt stacking. Feels bad, man. And I think this is like the moment you realize we've won the fight. You've done everything you need to do. They just threw Whole Hog at you. They threw Bongo at you. They've swapped off the Reaper, which is great for you guys. The Genji's still on Genji. Great for you guys. The only way you lose this now is if people start throwing. Look at that Lucio. That's a person throwing. You've killed their team. You can hold the corner, honestly. You don't need to go any further. Genji's done something. That hog hit the... Yeah, that hog nailed that shot. Like, that's one of those skills... And I tell you what, right? I bet your reaction at that moment, I bet your exact reaction was, oh my god, that's bullshit. Right? I bet that's the reaction. And because I know that reaction. I've had that reaction. That's your instinctual moment feeling of, oh my god, that's such bullshit, that shouldn't have happened. It happens with Hanzo arrows, it happens with Torbjorn left clicks, it happens with Zenyatta right clicks, it happens with Mei icicles. The amount of times people die and go, oh my god, that's such bullshit. Blizzard, fix your game. That shouldn't have happened. You've got to step back from that reaction. Every single time that reaction happens, you need to almost mentally like loop and go, wait, that just means I was out of position. Like, that can happen. I need to internalize that can and does happen. It was also, oh my god, I fucked up. That's good. That should be the reaction of, I was in a position where that can happen. I should not be in that position. Hanzo, I maintain as being BS? Yeah. Hanzo, I can feel like I'm in the safest position, and then suddenly an arrow threads through, like, insane position, insane angles, and just, like, goes past an Orisa and a barrier, and just gets between and hits me in the head, and yeah, it happens. Oh, boy. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it happen. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad, man. What were we doing? By the way, if you're feeling extra spicy and you can sort of figure that the McCree's not going to move, if it does this, you can just like lift him up on a Mei wall, but probably a little bit too spicy. A little bit too risky. So we go for a bit of a mad flank here. And I think this is greed. This is greed incarnate. But we have our cooldowns, we're fine. I think going right into the Blizzard is really greedy. Like, I have no idea what's happening. And if I don't have an idea what's happening and I'm watching the replay, I imagine that in-game, you have no idea what's happening. Like, I don't know where anyone is. I don't know what's going on. I can kind of see a vague outline of someone down here having a fight. Lucio's sort of pissing about, it looks like. McCree's up here with us, but he's dead-eyed and he's taking a ton of damage. You can see he gets super low. And then we sort of jump into the enemy team, and I have no idea. Like, you look here and it's like, where's our team? Where's our boys? Where's our brave boys? Where's our brave lads fighting a Roadhog somewhere? I have no idea what that is. I was wondering what I could do to help him. There's a couple of things you can actually do to help him. Another one is just stand in front of him. As McCree's Deadeye locks on regardless of if a player is in front of them or not, so one of the things you can do for McCree's is body block. As Mei, it's a little bit risky because you only have 250 hit points, but like as Roadhogs, as Orisas, as Reinhardts, as Divas, standing in front of a McCree that's deadeyeing, he can see clearly, like it outlines for him what he's locking onto, so it's fine. He knows what he's doing. So you can body block for him to help him, but you can also lift him up and see if you can get a better angle with that. It's a little bit risky because sometimes you lift him up and then someone just shoots him and then he goes, "Oh my god, mate, what the fuck?" But body blocking is generally the safer thing. Yeah, I don't know why we just didn't ice block here. Just to, like, again, slow down the fight, take stock of the situation, figure out what's going on. We do end up getting the ice block out. Wouldn't mind a Mei wall instead of going just fully aggressive here. The reason why is if you split these two, the kill is like way more likely. You also just want to block damage coming through this thing, so just splitting off the Baptiste would have been probably a little bit more ideal. I trust you have quick wall deployment on, where you just like, if you double press the button, it just instantly deploys it. Hey, look, Mercy. Mercy giving value. Spicy. Okay, you slow down the fight, that's fine. That's always a really cool decision that you have as Mei, right? That you can slow down a fight, and your spawns are very close by, so that's just good for you guys. This is a lot more dangerous than contesting a Reaper. I'm glad to see us like pull out of it. We've pushed him off a little bit. I'd like to see us just use that pylon more. He's got support, he's got a Baptiste with him, so like all we're doing here is buying time. Yeah, we've got to like really give him a lot of respect. Because he's got his heal field, he's got the Baptiste. We can't win this fight. Even if you land a headshot, I imagine Baptiste will just keep him alive regardless. So at this point, you are just literally like, I'm nullifying a hero doing this, which, as Mei, you can absolutely do. Okay, just... ooh, Lucio's come to help. Nice. Oh! There we go. Good job, Lucio. I'm less keen on this, but it turns out that you guys start winning somehow. I don't know how you guys start winning. Looks like McCree's gone to the high ground as well. In my opinion, like what I would have done there, and maybe this is wrong from me, but I would have just stayed by the payload to just make sure it's contested. But this ends up working out. The Lucio helping you out, like Lucio plus Mei running down solo targets. Yeah, the soldier can't do shit here. Like, it's so difficult to escape from that. Should get this respect. Yeah, good. Like, post-buff McCree, with a support, you back the fuck out of that fight. Like, his fire rate is, like, twice as good as yours. His shots do the same amount of damage, pretty much. And he's got a support with him. It's just like, whoop, nope, I'm fucking out. That's too rich for my blood. Again, you can slow down this fight if you want. I think I would at this point. Oh, I face planted into the wall. Oh, you got one. You got one with a nano blade. Nice. Ugh, less keen on this. You guys are losing this fight, so... Okay. So there's a couple of things here that I think I would like to see changed. Personally. So again, is that option of I can slow down any push, because you guys lost someone, I think. Yeah, you guys lose your Roadhog. And like, Roadhog's a big piece of damage for you guys. You know, he kills people dead. And I think just splitting their team here, especially once this Orisa barrier goes down, just putting the wall up as like an alternate Orisa barrier, slow down the game, make them use more time, make them use more resources to try and get close to you, all that kind of stuff. Keep contesting the point as slowly and gradually as possible. I think this is brave, but I'm not super keen on it, of like going to challenge him directly from the high ground. Like, once you hear that nano, you know what he's going to do. He's going to dash at your support line, or he's going to dash at your McCree. He's going to go for someone in the back line. So you can try and just like see if he fucks up his dash and wall him off and split him off from that as well. Like, he'll climb over it, but it's like you've got to just buy 6 seconds, so he ends up dashing into the wall and face planting anyway, which is hilarious and delightful for so many reasons. And then I think once you hit this point, the ice block's fine, the wall is good. I would have just stayed here, slow them down. Like, you've lost this fight. Retreating isn't really going to help you here. The payload is going to come crashing through the wall if you don't contest it. So if you stand on the opposite side of the wall, you can still contest the payload, so it's not going to come crashing through your wall. And you can just slow down the push as much as possible. But at this point, you've lost. Like, they used Visor, Blade. Is that your bongo? No, that's their bongo. They've used bongo. They've used everything. They've used that. Travels with the payload now. It's really fun. Mercy was lucky she had Valk. Mercy should be saving Valk for Nano Blade. Like, that's what Mercy should be doing. It makes her almost unkillable. The moment she sees the Genji even try and go for it, she should just Valk and get into the sky. It is pretty much completely safe as long as she stays very high up. Is this the one you mentioned that you misclicked? Please tell me that's a misclick. I accidentally triggered. Okay. That's fine. It happens. Happens to everybody. It's not the end of the world. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. This is a good demonstration of why everybody should shoot the bongo, and not the bongo, the lamp. Because you can make a pretty good argument that out of most heroes, Mei should actually probably be one of the people not shooting it, because her fire rate is so weird and blocky and stupid that it's going to take her a long time to take it down. If everybody else shoots at it and you just like line up a headshot and be ready to go, grand. But because you can't trust people, you have to stop, and like it takes so long to take it down. Like tanks, okay, good, the Roadhog shoots it. It's like, guys, please, that would have been a kill. Wall, why are we shooting? Why are we shooting? Why are we shooting? Why are we shooting? There is an Ana on the field. Why are we shooting? You see this happen, you get a wall behind him. What's the people's reaction instantly whenever they get hooked? It's just a run backwards. She's fortified. She's got like all her cooldowns up. There's an Ana just pumping healing into a bum. You do that, there's no more Ana. You've killed Ana. Congratulations, she's dead. You don't do that. Look, Ana Baptiste just holding buttons, throwing in the healing. She messes up her movement. Okay, we finally get the wall. She almost gets over it. Thank you. That could have been much quicker. Just again, don't right-click this, as weird as it sounds, in my opinion. You just left-click this. You're the bully, right? Similar role to Brigitte. You're a bully as Mei. And what you're doing is, Roadhog's like pulled him in, and then what you do is you go in and you get him in a full Nelson. And you go, Piccolo, charge your special attack. And Piccolo goes, ah ha 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 ha. And then he fires a scrap gun through Raditz's chest and kills you. And yeah, you know what I'm going for there. Right. Yeah, if you just freeze him up, he can't escape from this. Like, he's going to die. The shot from Roadhog will probably kill him. The freeze from you will slow him down and guarantee, if he does somehow miss, if he doesn't have ammo for whatever reason, as long as Lucio doesn't right-click him here, he will die if you freeze him. So I'd just like to see the change to the left click on that. Oh look, it's the world's least effective Genji. How not scary he is. Look how utterly dealt with he's been. Good. Good. Nice. Oh god, the way that the Junkrat just died during that is so delicious to me. Especially because you get the sound barrier and I think he doesn't. No, he doesn't. So we just watch him explode. Great use of the sound barrier. I do want to talk about this wall. Like, I think it's a little bit sluggish. But we get it. Get behind his barrier. Reinhardt's gone somewhere. I think he's on the high ground. I think we completely lost track of him there. Good job by you, Lucio. Yeah, that's correct target. And then split. Honestly, I'd say just put a wall. Like, you want this McCree out of the fight. You've taken a bit of damage here. You're getting some heals, but I would just wall this off for safety and then rejoin the fight. Just make McCree walk slowly all the way back here. Like, one of his big weaknesses is that he's not very quick at moving, so blocking off his options is really nice. Again, I'd honestly just, like, drop a wall, like, here or some shit. All you want to do is just split people. Like, it's your most powerful tool is your ability to split people. There we go, nice. Good job. 20 seconds left. Hold on to that.
Welcome to Overwatch,
Nice. Good job, Rodog. Hey, Sebby Jeans.
I haven't renewed my sub yet, but I can share it already.
Nice.
Think.
Hopefully that means you renew it. You've already promised it. That's not how it works. Never feel obliged. Never feel obliged to give a Twitch streamer anything, guys. Unless you like what the streamer's doing. Don't allow yourself to be guilted. Someone's contesting while you're emoting. It's the Genji. He's dead. This is bad. This is very naughty. Don't do this. This is how you lose games. This is 100% how you lose games. Because that was a nice one with McCree. Yeah, that was spot on, by the way. Good job. I like the Blizzard here as well. Like, they're engaged, they're running in, they've been halted. They got to fight you. They have to deal with this shit. I would have maybe liked it a little bit further back behind the Reinhardt, so you can't just block it off perhaps for some people, but yeah. The wall is grand. But this... Also, Lucio, please, for the love of God. This is a no-no. I have no idea why I did that. I thought it was over. Yeah. The issue is that if you do this and, like, the Moira does this and then the Genji dances around for long enough and then the Soldier comes out and then the Reinhardt comes out and earth shatters everybody, suddenly you're in trouble. Suddenly you've got problems. So, yeah. Just play the game to the end. I know it's tempting. I know the temptation of it. I've done it myself and every single time. You get punished for it and then you go kind of, I'm a bit of a dumbass. I kind of threw that. Otherwise, not too bad. Sending a win? Yeah, you can send wins. I'm fine with seeing wins. Like, there was enough meat in this game. The thing with Mei, the nice part about Mei for me as a coach and someone, like, commenting on a replay is Mei's all about decision-making. Right? I'm just going to let this play while we have our spiel. Mei's all about decision-making. Mei's all about, like, choosing how to engage, where to engage, what to engage, how to divide up the enemy team, perhaps, or use your walls to stall things out. It's all decisions, and I can coach very easily on the choices that we're making and what we're trying to achieve with those choices. So it's very easy for me to coach a Mei, win or lose, to sort of go, maybe that wall could be better placed, maybe that wall could be optimized somehow, maybe we should use our wall here, maybe we should use this here. It's kind of an easier thing for me to do. In terms of our gameplay overall, yeah, I just think, like, the biggest thing is knowing how much control we have over a fight, like how much we can impact and influence a fight. I don't know if you play other heroes, I don't know if you ever played main tank. If you have, then you know how annoying it is to try and push into Mei's, how annoying it is to play around Mei's, and how little time it feels you even have once you use her wall. Like, 12 seconds feels like a long time for the Mei, but it feels like nothing for the enemy team. So you can control so much. Just this hook, man, this hook. Also, yeah, people were told to guess the SR. Team, I want to... Chat, I want to know what SR you think this guy is. Where do you think he placed? Where do you think he landed? I've seen a 2.8. So we've got a 2.8. Anywhere else? 2936. 27. Just joined, so at least 10. 3001. It's over 3000. 2684, 27. Yeah, so a lot of guesses, sort of, yeah, around. You know, I'm going to be generous to you guys and say, like, you said between 3K and 2.6. I think you've been quite generous. And remember, it's not just this guy we're looking at. Like, you've got to think about in terms of all of the team. The player is in chat, so he can reveal it himself if he desires. But it does say in the email, it's literally 2.5, it says. 2.6, yeah, I think 2.6 is about right for the player overall. I think you'll climb a little bit out of 2.5, but you might have some really bad games, especially if you do just main Mei. You can run into some real issues with team comps. 2.5. I think that's about right. The reason why I would agree with 2.5 is like in terms of like this game, this match overall. And like the people around 2.6, yeah, that's probably about right. 2.4, 2.6, like you generally want about a 200 boundary for all the players involved in the game. My ult is 2.8, but I can't seem to say in plat with this account. The reason why I would say about 2.5, like for this match overall, is just like, again, you're seeing like combos kind of execute. Like you're seeing you saw a couple of nano blades, but there was also just like a lot of, I'll just throw the ult. I'll just throw the ult in this fight. Like a lot of fights, people were just throwing all of their ultimates into the fight. They weren't thinking about the next fight. They weren't thinking about saving it. It's just like, are we winning? Are we winning? I'll use my ult. I'll use my ult. I'll use my ult. And that's kind of how people play it around that rating, around sort of, the average 2.5k. It's very low on the eco front. And then it's kind of hard to gauge skill because the super skill based heroes in this game are going to be stuff like the Genji, who was very dubious. And honestly, no matter what, I think the Genji, like any Genji, would struggle against this team. It would be very difficult to win. Other than that, yeah, like I didn't see anything that made it scream like, oh, these teams are playing coordinated and towards the meta, which is more what you see towards 3K. And it wasn't the clown fiesta that you start seeing at the lower ends towards like 2K, where people are just kind of randomly positioned all over the place. People were moving around generally. It's kind of a unit. They're working as a team. People were positioning in, places where you can understand why they're positioning there. But yeah. I didn't give it diamond because there's no Hanzo Wither. Yeah. The fact that there isn't a Hanzo is kind of the weird one. Now, honestly, if the Genji swapped to Hanzo, you guys would be in so much trouble. Because they could just barrier up, shoot at you all day, and you'd have to run into them, and you would probably die every single time. So yeah, 2.5k. So you were wrong, chat. You were way off. But I kind of agree that like this player is probably a little bit higher. Like there were very few mistakes outright. I just think that we're not using all of our tools to their fullest potential. Only by 300 star? Yep, only by 300 star. It's not bad. It's not bad. Right, I'm going to go to the intermission screen, and then we've got another game. Zenyatta GM Twitch sub. So I've already spoiled what it's going to be. I'm kind of curious to see what this is going to be, because there's going to be stuff that I can learn from, no doubt, because this player is, on paper, better than I am. So I really want to see. But yeah, like actionable learning things, like what I want to try and drive home as well, because I've said a lot, so it's going to be hard to take notes. Just like, again, take a lot of care with your positioning. Just be very careful with like what you're doing, because we saw how badly it can go when you get killed, and we saw it twice, right? Both times with the Roadhog, once with a hook, once with a right click. Don't panic. Like as Mei is one of those characters where you have so many ways out and so many ways to survive that if you do end up in situations that feel dangerous, use your cooldowns before you use your ultimate. That kind of happened twice. Once just ahead of this moment, and then once as well when we're defending second, where we dropped down onto them. We sort of went straight to our cooldown, straight to our ultimate as like the panic button, when we could have just frozen. You can take your time, freeze, chill out for a moment, look around, spin the camera around, and go, okay, I know what I want to do here. Don't be afraid to take that time as Mei. You have it. Use it. Right, going to go to the intermission, and yeah, BRB. 2 seconds. Let me go back to intermission while I get the next VOD up. This just sounds so derivative of like the other popular NCS song. There we go.